Do you ever wonder what really happens during a salon visit when you have 4C hair? Or at least what should happen? Well, you're in luck, because today I'm going to break down my entire salon visit from start to finish. I think a lot of us with 4C hair struggle to trust stylists. And I know what you're thinking, Jan, I thought last time you had a bad experience with your stylist. What's going on? How can you be back? You just talked about not wanting to do the no oil and butter method anymore. And all of that is true. But at the same time, I think when you find a stylist that listens to you, a stylist that does exactly what you want them to do, speaking to you about what's going on with your hair, your expectations, etc., you hold on to them. And personally, I love getting my hair done. And we're going to talk about all of that in this video. But my salon visits always start with a very long consultation. We need to manage expectations. I am not about to let anybody touch my hair if we're not on the same page. I will let her know what I've been doing with my hair, what my expectations for the visit is, what I want her to do. And of course, she can let me know how my hair feels, what she thinks. We are in my hair before we wash my hair. Consultations, I think it's very important. That's how you remove all the what if, maybe I didn't understand, I thought you said that. No. We want to be on the same page. And especially with someone with 4C hair who've had terrible experiences with stylists, I like to make sure that we are on the same page. 4C hair is a very interesting hair texture to take care of, especially when it comes to going to a salon. And I'm not talking about braiders. I think we come from the time where we will go get our hair braided, and braiders have their own thing going, but there's something about having someone wash and take care of your natural hair, condition it, style it, really put their heart and soul into it. That is appealing to me, and that's why I periodically will see my stylist. After the consultation, of course, we'll move on to washing my hair. Now, last time I washed my hair, she clarified it and things did not go so well. And this is where a partnership comes in, where something may happen, you're able to communicate and talk about it. And just because you voice your opinion or have a conversation with someone does not mean you're fighting them. This is the misconception I find, especially in my last video. People are like, well, are you beefing your stylist? No, girl, we're talking. Something happened. I brought it up. She acknowledged it. We decided on the course of action, which is where we are now, where even though I was doing protective styles back to back, I did two different styles. I did knotless braids as well as a braided baldy situation. Even though I did that and I knew my hair was dirty and needed a good clarifying session, I personally didn't want to clarify my hair, at least not with the product that I know she has at the salon. So I opted not to clarify, and she agreed. She was okay with that, and she suggested that I use AG Balance for my first shampoo. Now, AG Balance is a all-purpose shampoo technically, but I find that it acts like a mild clarifier in my hair. So I was okay with her using that versus an actual clarifying shampoo, which the one that they carry, I find is pretty strong for my hair type. So if I don't want to use it, I'm not going to let someone use it in my hair. That's it. So we did 2 washes to get my hair nice and clean and just a deep reset, I guess you could say. Like I said, I've been in protective styles for a little bit. We use AG Balance, and then we followed with a moisturizing shampoo, which is the Earth Tone Natural one. And on top of that, girl, she did a little scrubby scalp situation. Oh, that's my favorite part, when she go with that little brush to scrub my scalp, making sure that it's really clean. I love that part. And I just love going somewhere to get my hair done. First of all, I love getting my hair done, period. Okay, but it's a bonus if someone else is doing it for me. Girl, you mean I don't have to wash and scrub and detangle? Where do I sign up? So we did 2 washes and a scalp scrub, and once that one's done, we rinse everything out and moved on to the conditioning step. Now, to condition, we used the Innocence Color Radiance, and she used that conditioner last time too. It's a lovely conditioner. I don't own it, but it provides a lot of slip, is what I've noticed every time she uses it. I will touch my hair and it'll take me straight to heaven. My hair really enjoys it. And after she applies the conditioner all over my hair, she would do a bit of a steam treatment. Now let's gossip a little bit as we let this conditioner sit and the steam treatment do its thing. As we were chatting like we usually do, and you know me, I ask all the questions. I need to know exactly what she's doing every step of the way, her thoughts on everything. And she ended up telling me, as part of her continued education, she went and took a cut it kinky class. Oh girl, my heart dropped to the floor. I don't know if you know what's going on, girl, but there was a whole conversation with no oils versus using oils and butters, and the whole black girl curls and cut it kinky situation. And cut it kinky is their professional side, and I didn't even know they were still teaching stylists on this method. And my stylist follow a lot of their philosophies, but she wasn't technically affiliated with them. So when she said that, girl, I was like, oh no, I like her. I enjoy when she does my hair. I find that she's very detailed. She takes her time. So that put me on edge a little bit. I don't know. For me, the Cut It Kinky brand is a little bit tarnished. That is my opinion. And it made me feel a little uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. So from that point on, I was asking extra questions. And if you end up going to a salon and someone else is doing your hair, even if it's just a braider, you should be asking all the questions as well. This is key. Anybody who's doing your hair, I think, should answer your questions as well. It really has nothing to do with you being a difficult client. When you think about it, if someone is in your hair, it is a bit of an intimate situation, if you know what I mean. So I need to know what you're doing, and I'm gonna ask a lot of questions, and I expect for them to be answered. These sessions are not cheap. I'm gonna say that again. It's not cheap, girl. Anyway, so when she told me she took the Cut It Kinky course, I asked a lot of questions, girl, as we moved on to the styling step. So to style my hair, she used the Earth Tone Natural Styling Jelly, and she applies it at the bowl because you really want to get the product and water ratio right. And it was very interesting because this time around, she opted to detangle my hair with the jelly versus the conditioner like she usually does. So you already know I had to ask why. And the rationale was that she felt that my hair was pretty soft and it was finger detangled during the conditioning step. So she ended up detangling it with the styler before clumping the curls with the topper gels, which we're gonna use in a second once I get out of the bowl. And for me, I kind of felt like, conditioners provide a little bit more slip for the detangling session, but I didn't shed a lot, so it didn't really bother me. And by the way, yes, I am pregnant, and yes, I asked to see the hairball. When I tell you I'm gonna ask all the questions, I will ask all the questions. I need to know what's happening at every step, and if I'm uncomfortable with something, I will kindly voice my opinion, ask, wonder why, what are your thoughts behind this, why do you decide to do this? Those are very important questions that you too should be asking at your salon visit. And if a stylist think that it's too much, that you're a difficult client for doing that, well, I guess we're not a good fit. Like I said, it's a very intimate session when someone is in your hair, scrubbing your scalp, and for you to not want to answer my questions, it just seems odd to me. So anyways, outside of the bowl, we decided to use two different topper gels, the infamous Innocence Eye Create Hold, and she also used a tiny bit of Eye Create Definition. Now, we haven't used Eye Create Definition in the past, so I kind of wondered why she wanted to use it. And this time around, I kind of noticed there are little shifts here and there in my appointment in terms of how she usually does things and how she's doing them now post Cut It Kinky course. And maybe I'm being a little paranoid because, like I said, her methodology was very similar to them to begin with. So not much has changed, but I just kept thinking and referring back to their philosophy, as in Cut It Kinky, and their teaching and how they go about things. Again, maybe I'm a little paranoid, but she ended up using both of the stylers. Eye Create Definition just for a little bit more definition, she said. And I've been doing protective styles back to back, so I kind of felt like, okay, maybe it's something that would be needed. Maybe my hair was a little drier than usual, which I felt like it was. When I walked in, girl, my hair was dry. We don't even need to lie about it. Once the stylers were applied, we let my hair dry under the hooded dryer, and then she also took me back and used a diffuser to get my roots dry. Now, moving on to trimming. Now, this part also made me a little uncomfortable because she decided to do a curly cut, basically cutting my hair while it's dry. Now, the first time that I seen her, she did do a curly cut on me. My second visit with her, she did this method where she cut my hair wet. It was half wet, half curly cut. And it was very interesting because I really loved how the back of my head progressed over the months. It remained blunt, and I like that blunt feeling versus how the top of my hair, it was a little bit more uneven. And that's one of the characteristics, I guess, of a curly cut. So this time around, she suggested cutting my hair dry, and again, it took me back to Cut It Kinky, took me back to black girl curls. All the conversation that we've had over the past couple of years in in terms of the damages that curly cut does in one hair. And I don't believe it's the curly cut themselves, although they do leave you with uneven hair. But as I was talking to her, wanting to know her rationale behind it, and I have to say, I also told her that I did not want to have a lot of my hair cut. So the first 2 appointments or 3 appointments I had with her, I did not care. Cut my hair, give me a new shape, a new fresh shape, which required cutting a lot of my hair. And I was cool with that. That's exactly what I wanted. This time around though, from the very beginning, at the consultation, I told her that I did not want a lot of my hair cut because I was enjoying the length and I was enjoying the shape that she had previously given me. So just a clean up, a trim would have been enough. So then that's when she suggested doing a curly cut, because when you cut your hair dry, you're not cutting as much of it. Cutting your hair wet, especially with shrinkage on 4C hair, first of all, requires someone that have a lot of skills, in my opinion. And also, you will probably have a lot more hair taken off because of how shrunken our hair is. It's hard to tell how much you're cutting, which is why I said you need someone with skills. So as she was doing my curly cut, I was asking so many questions. Like, can you actually see split ends when your hair is that curly? Especially the curlier your hair is, I feel like it hides a lot of the sins. Because the rationale is when your hair is splitting at the ends, the curl is just not going to be as uniform. So that's how they can identify, okay, that's where you need to cut your hair. But I don't know if I agree with that rationale. I think that a lot of damage can still be hidden within your hair and it's hard for you to see. So because I was so concerned, you will see how she cut my hair. She did say that she was going to apply a lot of her training and knowledge outside of cutting kinky to cut my hair. So she would pull my hair out just a little bit so that she can see the strands a little bit clearer so she could do the curly cut. Again, probably requires a lot of training to do that so that your hair is still even at the end, but that's what she ended up doing. And I personally came to the conclusion that curly cuts are more for shape. You really can't see everything that's going on in there, girl, because I for sure couldn't see it. And let me tell you something, I've been studying African hair gods in his channel, and I feel like I'm a bit of an expert in terms of how to identify split ends, and you can't always tell when your hair is super curly. Anyways, that is the look. Once she was done with cutting my hair, we were done with the style. My hair felt great. It was clean. It was nicely conditioned. One thing that she noticed is that some of the tips of my hair were changing colors. And this whole method of not using oils and butters on our natural hair really has me on edge because of some of these questions that are going unanswered. So like I said, she noticed that some of my tip of my hair is changing colors a little bit, which she identified as a bit more dryness. Your hair gets older, and that's fair to say that your ends get drier over time. However, I think back of all the women that experience a lot of damage, specifically Shelly V. Shout out to you, Shelly, if you're watching this. And she too had a huge color change in her hair. So things like that really pops back in my mind. Like, I enjoy a lot of the philosophies of this method, but at the same time, I just don't want to experience a lot of damage. And which is why when I take care of my hair, I am not afraid to use oils and butters. And I kind of use this salon visit as a way to detox and reset my hair, get someone to pamper me so I don't have to do it, girl. It's self-care, it's mental health time, and then I can take care of my hair the way that I want to, so I don't follow all the rules because it makes me on edge. And why? That's because there is a lot of unanswered questions. There's a lot of holes that doesn't make a lot of sense. For example, why are we experiencing so many split ends? Why are there some color changes happening in our hair? Why are a lot of women struggling to retain length with this method? Is it true that you really can't wash the oils and the butters out of your hair, or is going to take several washes for it to happen? Do we need to strip our hair to that extent? Those are some questions that I feel aren't really answered, but yet, a lot of those stylists are continue to teach this method. Anyways, my hair looked good. I enjoyed this session. If you don't take anything from this video, I hope you walk away with the fact that you should be very open with your stylist. You should make sure at the consultation you ask a lot of questions, and throughout the appointment as well, you are on the same page, you're comfortable every step of the way, and you can make certain decisions that are best for you and your hair. Cut the show, take me off. I gotta go to bed. But we gotta talk. we really got to talk about, I'm conflicted a little bit, as I'm very conflicted talking about the no oil and butter thing, and also the whole philosophy of it is very interesting. Speaking to someone who truly believes in the method, and for me, I feel like I'm tip-tapping. I do it with my stylist, but I don't do it at home anymore. And you hear the damages that's happening, and it's hard to invalidate these women and the changes that happen over time, right? And even as I look at my hair, like I'm like, it looks good, I like it. But then, is it like a slow process to damage land? And do you get to a point where you just don't really care? So you just value the ease and the styles over the actual health of your hair. You know what I mean? It's very conflicting stuff. But that's a story for another day because I gotta go to bed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts about seeing a stylist or visiting a salon if you have 4C hair, tight curls. Are you comfortable? Are you uncomfortable? And in my next video, I think I'll probably break down my thoughts a little bit further as to why I kind of do this method but don't, because there's parts that I enjoy and there are parts that makes me very uncomfortable. And I'll see you in my next one.